Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 24. Time to step up is what we're calling this one. Hey, just so you guys know, there's some merch behind Chris that's brand spanking new. If you go on drunkphilsfans.com, or you go on our Facebook page and click the Shop Now button, you can check that out. You could also check out a bunch of other stuff. Like literally every single one of us has something different on from the page. There's the OG hat. There's some City Connect. There's some crossed bats. There's the Miller Lite. There's the one that actually says Drunk Phils Fans with the cross bats. We've got DPF stuff if you don't want to walk around with the word drunk on your chest, which is sweet. Just remember, DPF On Tap is brought to you by Pensive Technology. Check them out for all your networking, internet, and home automation needs at pensivetechnology.com today. I think we're just going to kick off because I think we're all a little bit, I don't know if miffed is the word. I got 19 and 18 below my name. That's the Phillies record since London. So, we have a leader on this team. It's, Bryce Harper, and really Harper made some really demonstrative comments after yesterday's game. He was asked if he was frustrated after his last at bat. And what he said was, what's frustrating is that they don't know how to call balls and strikes. That's going back the last 6 games, back to the Pittsburgh series too. And then he also said, I think he told John Clark, if you want to be a winning ball club, you can't let these games get away like they did against the Twins. He says this just can't happen. So, Chris, I was wondering if you think he's sending a message to the rest of the team, if he's sending a message to himself. What do you think he's, his kind of strategy is with those comments?
Yeah, I think he's the biggest pussy on the team for saying that. Not taking ownership. I'm going to blame it on the umpire. What the fuck? Dude, every fucking at bat isn't a fucking umpire issue. And then he's like, well, it's not really the hitters. It's the back end of the bullpen. We did enough. Like, what fucking leader shit is that? Take fucking ownership and really, do you know what? The offense is terrible and the end of the bullpen isn't good. No one's good. What's he doing? I don't know. Like, Chris, you saw the numbers that he had. Like, what's his numbers? He's hitting 250 since the break. So shut the fuck up, man.
Yesterday in the first inning, he came up with second and third no outs and popped up on the second pitch of the at bat. There's a chance that the umpire didn't take the bat out of his hands there, right? He tried to kill a fucking ball and he popped it up to third base. Do your fucking job. Hit a ground ball, get a run. Hit a fly ball, get a run. He had a chance to be a real leader and get the team off to a good start yesterday. And then that started that whole inning, 1, 2, 3, boom, no runs, And it started with him. You got 3, 4, 5 up with second and third, no outs. How the fuck do you not score? How do you fucking not score?
His comments are like, oh, you know what? Sorry, I'm late. My alarm didn't go off. You didn't fucking set the alarm. It's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
The fucking alarm didn't set itself. You didn't fucking set it, dude. Fucking set the tone. God damn it. And you know what? The other thing is, I want to fucking snap out about. I know Nick's the best hitter right now on the team, but he fucking lollygags out in right field at a fucking known double. Like, it drives me nuts. I don't know if you guys notice it, but it's like if it's over his head or in the gap, he's not really running hard. He's just like, they're going to get 2 anyway, right? Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's the whole fucking team. There's not a single guy on the team who has that, like, moxie, bravado, intangible something that's like, you know what? Fuck this. Not today. There's just not.
Yeah, I thought it was Harper. I thought Harper was that guy that was going to play with his hair on fire every inning of every game. And, blaming the umpire is such a weak move. It's so weak. It's so weak. It's just, come on, man. Like, I know there's pitches that don't go your way and it might change the at bat, but it's not, that doesn't make or break the game. They had plenty of opportunities yesterday to blow that game open in the first 2 freaking innings, and it would have never been an issue, the back end of the bullpen. But the offense didn't get the goddamn job done, and you left the door open for the bullpen to blow it.
I think if you ask him today, he would give a more honest answer. he's getting a mic thrown in his face 5 minutes after they just lost fucking disastrously. So yeah, it's going to be pissed off. Yeah. But still, like, he's been around since he's like fucking 11 years old. Like, he knows what to say.
Right. Right. Well, you talked a little bit, Dugan, about someone with moxie, and we all noticed it with Marsh yesterday, right? Okay, so he's clearly injured, right? He's carrying his right arm. I guess the question is what responsibility does he have to inform the skipper, of how limited he is physically versus trying to man up and be that, kind of gritty player?
I mean, can he help the team? And it's evident that he couldn't. And that's when you got to take it upon yourself and say, hey, I thought I could go, but I can't. I mean, I think if Pache gets put in that game in left field, that ball's caught and the Phillies win that game. Now, I don't know. I mean, it was his right arm. He was going in with his, glove hand to the wall. I don't know if he was afraid to run into the wall. I don't know if he didn't know how close to the wall he was, but that was a catchable ball. And that was a play. If he makes it, they probably win that game. And if he's too hurt to be aggressive in the outfield or too hurt to swing the bat, what good are you doing your team? What good are you doing? Come out of the game. Let a guy go in there who's healthy that can make that play and win the game for you. I mean, everybody loves Marsh. He's cool. He's got the beard. He pours water on people's heads. But, I mean, I think he's slowly showing that he's no more than a platoon player. And just because he's a cool guy and you like him and you like his attitude and he's funny and he does this, doesn't make him an everyday baseball player and doesn't make him a hero on this team. He is what he is. He's a platoon guy, and he had no business being in that game after taking that swing and hurting his arm again. He had no business.
We already have one court jester. We got Stubbs as the court jester. We don't need two.
Yeah. He's got the whole beard, though. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who else had a cool beard? Archie Bradley. He didn't do shit for us either.
Yeah.
That's the way back machine there.
It's just I get amazed at some of the blind loyalty people have to these guys just because they like them personally. Like, let your eyeballs tell you, is this guy a player that can help you win, or can he? And I think Marsh has a role. It's just not an everyday role. I thought he was an everyday player at the beginning of the season, and it's proven over the course of the year that he's not. And the Phillies see him every day. I mean, they're willing to play Pache and Merrifield and all these guys that couldn't hit a beach ball with a tennis racket out in left field over him when a lefty's on the mound. That tells you something. They see him every day, and they're going to play these guys that can't hit a lick over him against a lefty because they know he can't touch him. I mean, he strikes out 50% of the time. He's not even competitive against them. So you can't keep rolling him out there.
Man, wouldn't Logan O'Hoppe look good as a backup?
Right.
I liked the trade at the time. I liked it at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what Marsh's slash line is since the All-Star game? Fucking zero across the board.
Yeah.
He's Blutarski at 0.0.
Zero.
Well, let's follow that line of thinking. So why are most fans giving Stott a pass when lamenting the woes of like N3B, Rojas, Witt? Now we can throw in Marsh. Would you platoon Sosa with him till he figures it out, John?
I definitely would. I think he needs to. I think he needs to ride the pines a little bit before. Not even just the lefty righty shit. Like, even if there's a righty, just fucking sit his ass for here or there. Sosa. So when Sosa was spot, filling in when Turner was out, he did great. Like, yeah, he had off games here and there. It's going to happen, but like, it's not forever. It's just you throw him out there, platoon him with Stott. Let's send Stott a message like, yo, we need you. Like, your defense is great, but we need you to, step it up at the plate. Like, something's going on. Your first couple of years, you were good, and then something's going on this year. You got to figure it out. But until then, we're going to throw him out there more games and give him an opportunity to play. I mean, Rojas is hitting better than Stott, even. That's crazy. I'm looking at the I'm looking at the stats now. Like Rojas is hitting better than Stott. That's a problem.
I mean, when you're so terrible, don't you change? Like, I don't know. Like, he was so good on 2 strikes. Like, just go to no stride. I'm not seeing anything different. I'm seeing the same shit.
Yeah.
But the best stat the best stat he has when he does get on base is he's got 23 stolen bases this year. It's like his best stat. Other than that, 233 average. Like, 42 RBIs. He's better than that. 660 OPS. Like,
what's his on base percentage?
His on bases start 319.
So what if it was 350? Would he have 40 stolen bases? I don't know the answer to that. I'm just throwing it out there. But why do we, as fans, give certain players a pass versus players that we just get on all the time? Like, even us, I don't think we've talked about Stott a little bit, but not as much as we've talked about Stubbs or Nicky Three Buttons or, that kind of thing.
Well,
I think people get caught up in the moments. Like, Stott hit that grand slam in the playoffs last year, and everybody remembers that. And everybody remembers, and the walk-up song, everybody sings his walk-up song when he comes to bat. And I think people get caught up in that they're distracted from what they're seeing on the field. He's still playing Gold Glove level defense at second base, but he's definitely, this is a guy I thought was going to contend for a batting title this year after the way he played last year. And he looks lost at times. He's taking hittable pitches. He's fouling a ton of pitches off because he just looks indecisive at the plate. Now, I know the knock on him the past couple of years, and one of the reasons why people didn't want to move him up into the leadoff spot was because he didn't walk. So I don't know if that's in the back of his mind. Like, I need to work the pitchers more. It's made him less aggressive, which may have affected, his approach at the plate. And now he's tentative. Like, I want to I need a walk here, but that's almost a strike. Let me foul it off, and hitting with 2 strikes is difficult. He did it very well, but you can't count on that year in and year out to be that good with 2 strikes. That's a talent, but it's not something that you can just say, well, that's what I do. I can hit with 2 strikes. It's just not everybody has that in them. And I'd love to see him be more aggressive, attack the ball more, attack more fastballs. Too many guys on this team look at too many good fastballs right down the goddamn middle. I don't get it, especially lately. But yeah, no, Stott has not been impressive at all. He struggled basically out of the gate. I don't remember a time where he ever got hot. Like, Marsh was hot to start the season. Three Buttons is a little hot now. Stott has just been kind of a 230 hitter all season. Like, he really hasn't ever shown the peak where he hit 350 for a 2-week span. Like, he hasn't had that. He hasn't had that all year. You know
what, Chris? Like, when you look at Nick Castellanos, right? Like, he was always waving at the outside pitch. He just kind of stopped. He just got better. He knew they were doing it. All 4 of us can watch the game, and when JT's up there, where are they throwing it? They're busting him in because he can't get his bat around. They're fucking doing it all the time. The pitchers have made changes, and the Phillies have not made changes to, counteract the changes that have been made. It's all over the fucking time. It's everywhere. Like, Harper, he's swinging fastball first pitch all the time. I would say he probably gets a first pitch fastball 25% of the time at best.
Yeah,
maybe
and
less,
it's a changeup or a curve every fucking time. And then they go up and in with the fastball. But it's like the same pattern that we're sitting there watching it, and we know what they're going to do. So how the fuck can these guys not know?
Well, even yesterday, I don't know. You probably listened on the radio, Chris, but if you watch the broadcast, Lego Head was calling out changeups left and right because the Twins were doing it all series. When they were ahead in the count, they were throwing changeups, and it was like clockwork. Every time he said, "Look for the changeup here," they were throwing the changeup. So if he could sit up in the booth and pick up that pattern, why aren't our hitters? Why isn't Kevin Long? Why isn't somebody in the dugout like, "Hey, look, changeup" when they get ahead in the count, because they're throwing it 95% of the time.
Yes, exactly.
They all have these, iPads or Surfaces or whatever. You should be able to tell instantly.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing with Stott too, you know what's crazy? They keep sitting him against lefties. He's striking out more against righties. He's got 40 strikeouts as opposed to 20 against the lefties.
What's
So
the
I don't even
percentage
know.
though of percentage of at bats though? I mean, he probably has way more at bats against right-handers than lefties.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit more.
But
Yeah.
just to
But
wrap
I
up
mean, his
Stott,
stat is
just to wrap up the thought on Stott, if you guys look, he is frustrated at the plate. Like Dugan, to your point, like he'll take a strike and you can tell in his body language he's defeated. And then after that, he fouls off he loves that pitch right here. He fouls that one off, and then he drops his head again. Just watch him each at bat. I've noticed that. We talked for a second there about Bohm, so let's stay on him for a quick second, and then I think we should go to some comments because they're blowing up today. Johnny, we're seeing Alec Bohm develop into an elite player this year. However, he is not a true four-hitter yet. Really, the Phillies are lacking in a cleanup hitter role overall. Who would be a good acquisition, do you think, to fill this need?
in the 4-hole. I do believe he can be the 4-hole, but he's got the pure hitting down. He can hit for average. He can he can locate the ball. He could drive the ball out but into the gap and all that. But I don't think he's truly harnessed that power. A lot of people say that on the radio, on the TV, whatever. Like his frame, how he's built, he should be knocking about 25 home runs plus. Like not crazy like 30 or whatever, but an honest like 25 or so. You got to be able to drive some run, knock one out of the park here or there. An acquisition that for the 4-hole, I mean. I would like. I mean, we've talked about that. We've beat that horse to death, but I would like to see Schwarber drop to the 4th, but it's never happened. So, I mean, it's not in house. I really don't know outside, like, if it's not in house. If we did pick up like an Arozarena, maybe you could throw him there. Maybe he, change the scenery. He could probably rake at the bank. I would throw him in there and see what happens there. But I do not like JT there. I do not like when they throw Cassie there. They just don't fit. I mean, Bohm's been the best fit, but he's not. I mean, I'm just saying he's the best fit of who we have right now. But he's.
I think if you're looking for a guy, if you're just talking traditional 4-hitter with power, it's Lewis Robert. I mean, that guy's 30 to 35. Walking out of the dugout, like he's if he's healthy, that's your power, and you can just drop that right in the 4-hole. But I don't know if he's a guy that I necessarily want. But if you're trying to solve a problem in the 4-hole, he's probably the best guy available to give you that pop that you're looking for, right-handed pop too, which is what they really need.
Cool. Hey guys, remember everybody on this podcast is drinking Philly Standard from Yards. If you're out and about, you're at Citizens Bank Park and you're in the tailgate, crack some Philly Standards because if you're not drinking something that's made in Philly, it's like wearing a Mets jersey to Citizens Bank Park. Just don't fucking do it. It's dumb.
Mike, so I'd like to add on to that.
Sure.
I recently went up to Hershey and there was Hidden Still Spirits, locally made bourbon. This isn't the big box brands. This one's their David E. Black. It is 90 proof and it is fucking delicious. So I'm going to do one of these. I need to calm my nerves too. So
also available for shipping to your home in Pennsylvania. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Very cool. One more thing I want to talk about before we move into some comments. Some of you may know, or some of you may not, out in DPF land, but the DPF family has lost some pretty amazing furry friends recently. So we're raising some funds for PAWS, which is the Philadelphia Animal Welfare Society. So if you go to our Facebook page and click that shop button we were talking about a little bit ago, choose the all collections and go to the pause tile. For every one of those t-shirts under that tile purchase, DPF will give 100% of the proceeds to the Philadelphia Animal Welfare Society. Let's see how many animals we can help this month, guys. Hashtag DPF cares.
100%, like
So-
not 10%, 100%. That's awesome.
Did I say 10%?
No, you didn't. But I'm just kind of putting it out there.
100%.
Like, I've been, it's everything.
Right. All the proceeds. All right. So Alex got the first fuck the max and Sig. I wonder if they're sitting on the couch next to each other or if they're in separate places. Let's see. Bud too. Amanda, thank you. Loving all the new gear. That's cool. Let's see. After that road trip, no podcast rum. Stepping up to podcast Jameson. Attaboy, Steve.
That's taking it for the team, man. That's what we're
I
talking
appreciate
about.
that. So, like you just said, you haven't seen the hitters make any adjustments on the adjustments that the pitchers have made. Steve was savvy enough to make an adjustment and go away from the rum to the Jameson. Love that.
Steve got a goddamn pool to help
Yes,
the
he
team.
did. Yes, he
I
did.
know.
He's like, I didn't have a pool before. They never won a World Series in, a bunch of years. I'm going to get a fucking pool. Good for you,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, where the
Jump in that motherfucker. Garrett can jump in that.
yeah, where the fuck is your pool, Garrett Stubbs? You dickhead.
Travis says maybe they need to get mad and raise some voices. This is bullshit the way they have played. They need to get mad and get something going. So, I mean,
Yes.
Travis,
Yeah.
I think you got 4 allies right here.
We made that comment a couple times on the page, but just smash something, throw a helmet, do something, get thrown out of game. Somebody needs to show
Yeah.
some fucking fire on this team. Throw at somebody, start a brawl. Jesus Christ, let's go.
You know what cracks me up too? Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expects this, but I'm going to just do a little bit of a vocabulary lesson. I think the Phillies are playing apathetically, which means lacking interest, emotion,
Look
concern.
that shit up.
We're feeling something. Apathetic. You can fucking use it now. There you
Drunk
go.
dictionary. We got a drunk
Looking that
dictionary.
shit
going.
up right now.
Yeah.
You know what cracks me up? Somebody on the radio said, I don't know if it was Jason Stark, which I was surprised, but one of the people that actually cover the Phillies, I don't know if it was Selecki, somebody on the Fanatic, like not recently, was like, Thompson's all calm and gentle on the cameras and all, but behind closed doors, he does get in their ass, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. I just don't see it. I don't see him getting fired up.
I think he's boozing up. I've noticed his nose is getting redder and bigger and bigger. Like, I think he's boozing up.
Too much rock and rye, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He loves the fucking Rock and Ryan Winstons.
What happens when you get nervous about your job? You drink, right?
Yeah.
Or not.
I mean, I agree with Amanda here, but like they need to get it out of their system now. But I also would love to go to parade. At least Casty is stepping up. Travis says,
Yeah.
Stott's been driving Philip nuts for weeks. I think we're all on that that train.
Yeah, but can Casty keep it consistent though? That's the key. Like we need him to not just like a little groove. Like we need him consistent.
Maybe he'll have a reverse year from last year. Remember, he was really good in the first half last year, tailed off in the second half, and this year he started slow, picks it up. Let's hope he has a reverse season.
Yep.
So there's Boise has a bunch of deadline stuff. So does a couple other people. We're getting to that. John and Boise, we're getting that in a second. Like John asked who we getting at the deadline. We got a little discussion coming up on that. Fred likes your pick, Dugan. Yeah, we could talk about this right now. Mason Miller, we were all kind of talking about, and now he might be cheaper because he either punched a wall because he was upset that they won, or put his hand down weird on a table in the exercise room and broke his non-pitching pinky, whoever you want to believe. I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know. Those are the two things that I heard. Do you think his price is cheaper now that he's on the DL guy, or the IL? Sorry.
I mean, maybe he's left-handed, and he's probably better than most of our guys.
Was it his
left-handed.
non-pitching hand he broke? It's his
Non-pitching
but I'm
hand.
It
Non-pitching
would
Why
be
the
a
hell
cool
is he going
change-up,
on?
you know?
The glove hand.
What's
The
gonna
slap-
hurt when he catches the ball back? Yeah, come on, man. Man up.
He said it was touching a training table. Yeah, okay. Like Dick Allen got a big gash on his hand because he was pushing a car. Okay, Dick.
Hey,
We know. Glug, glug.
I don't know, Chris. Guess who else touched the training table and got fucked? Deshaun Watson. So,
Right.
He asked for it,
Yeah.
Travis, we can send out a link for the pause for sure. But if you go on our Facebook and or drunkphillsfans.com and go on the pause tile there, you can find that shirt that we're selling. But we can share it after we're done here. Fern, I have not heard of Fern before, so welcome, Fern. First time. Oh, is it? Oh, nice. John, buddy. We'll get to some upgrades here in a couple of seconds. Steve is multitasking. He's drinking Jameson, listening to us, and watching the the Braves at the Mets, I guess, on the MLB network.
He sent a picture earlier of him drinking like a fucking Acapulco drink.
yeah, right? What the fuck was that?
Jesus Christ. Where are you, Steve? Fucking Acapulco?
And Bud said Scotty Jetpack's going to fly in and fix it all. Do y'all think he'll ever leave the Phillies?
Yeah, after this year.
Yes.
He's done. His deal's up after this year.
That's right. Bud said, damn, I got to stop smoking. Interesting. I wonder what he's smoking. I mean, you do you, Bud.
Yeah. We're not going to judge here. Jesus Christ.
No, not at all. Hey, can you guys help me out? You ready? Hey, everybody. If you put in on SeatGeek, Drunk Phillies fan, all caps, all words, no S at the end, you will get $20 off your first purchase.
$20.
$20.
Do it. SeatGeek.
That's my favorite all-time comment. Every single week we do that. One more quick plug. We are going to be, all the DPF crew will be at Victory Brewing Company on the Ben Franklin Parkway, Monday, August 12th, from 6 to 9 for Phillies trivia to benefit the Pennsylvania SPCA. Trivia is hosted by Taryn Hatcher and Natalie Eganoff.
Yep.
Yes, I got it. Come test your Phillies knowledge and help the Pennsylvania SPCA deliver their life-saving services. Tickets are $8 because the Phillies won the World Series in 08 and 80, and that's N3B's number. I don't know. That's what it says on their website. Go to eventbrite.com and search PSPCA and order your tickets today. Come hang out with us on August.
There's
12th.
only 70 tickets total, and I think half of them have sold. So if you're serious about it, get them now.
Nice. Sweet. Chris, I'm going to start. We said the word trivia, so let's do trivia real quick. Remember the rules. If you want to answer, holler your name out, and I will call on you. What baseball movie was launched in movie theaters this week in 1984? To be specific, July 23rd, 1984.
The Natural, Chris.
You got it. Although that was backwards. Nice job.
Yeah. Well, I'm Polish. That makes sense, right?
What?
Maybe
One of those
he's calling
movies.
he's calling himself the Natural over there. That
The
guy.
natural,
Jesus.
that's it. The natural Chris. He's got to put it up there now.
I venture to guess that it was all when we did our Mount Rushmore baseball baseball movies. That was all in consideration for all of us for sure.
Oh yeah.
I've talked about this before, but as an aside to the natural, Mike, and I don't know if you were on, like, the ending is fucked up in the book. Like, fucking Roy Hobbs took the fucking judge's money and threw the fucking game. That's the ending of the book. Don't read it. Yeah, it's a fucking disaster.
Yeah. That was
I think how you put it the first time was don't read the ending of the book, and I'm not going to tell you, but now you just told everybody. So.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
That's some of Wilford Brimley's finest work before, Cocoon and diabetes.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
And Quaker Oats.
Hidden Still Spirits bourbon is also truth serum, as you can see, because I wouldn't have said that before I had it. So, if your husband or wife is telling you and you're not sure, get them some Hidden Stills, pour them a couple of those, and you'll get the truth.
And that's it. And remember, Hidden Stills available via delivery in Pennsylvania. Chris, there's been a lot of discussion, even outside of all of our DPF discussion around Double D going out and getting a closer. Do you think one arm fixes the current bullpen challenges?
No, I mean, let's just take a moment. It's going to be quick. Like, do you trust? My question is, do you trust the player to pitch the 7th, 8th, or 9th in a tie game in the playoffs? Sir Anthony, no.
No.
Soto,
No.
Kerkering, no. Strom, yes.
Yes.
Hoffman, yes.
Yes.
Alvarado, no. One arm ain't fixing this. Like that's your bullpen, and Ruiz, like he should be the fucking Taiwan of the playoffs. Like the dude should never see the mound, right? So it's not one person that'll fix it. I would honestly go arm heavy. But we'll get to that. But no, I don't think one's enough. I'm not sure 3's enough.
The problem with all those guys is just the inconsistency. Like, Sir Anthony started out terrible. Then they rattle off like 15 games where they don't give up a run, and then they go back to being what they were previously. And I think we see that with Soto. I think Soto had given up like 2 runs in his last 25 outings. And now he can't throw a strike again. He comes out, he's walking guys again. And it's just the inconsistency is crazy.
We see on the page like Soto, like there's Soto like stands, like they're like, oh, look at his numbers. Like, dude, he fucking walked the bases loaded in every one of those games and just didn't give up a run. Like, honestly, like he's been fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They're just not consistent. I mean, the biggest thing I think, and the biggest shock to me is Alvarado, because of how dominant he was last year. He don't get swing and misses anymore. Like they don't swing and miss on him. I don't know if he doesn't have the movement. The velocity seems to be there. I mean, it's just I don't know if his ball's just flattened out. It just
first pitch strike.
He doesn't get swing and miss.
First pitch strike. He doesn't get it, and then the cutter. They're like, we're not swinging. We know it's down and in. He gets that first pitch strike. Alvarado is like totally different.
Yeah, it's a different game. Yeah, you're right. Yep. And Kerkering's been, I mean, it's been his last 4 or 5 outings where he's given up runs. He's turned into Sir Anthony where he's given up a run. Even when he gets outs, he'll get the first 2 outs. Then he walks a guy, hits a guy, walks another guy. It's almost like he has a major confidence issue with his fastball.
100%.
Absolutely. He's afraid. I mean, he's got 98 in his back pocket. Jesus Christ. Let it loose, my man. Let it loose.
It's straight though, Chris. I get it. His fastball is straight.
But
he's probably like,
but you can play, but he nibbles with it. That's the problem though. It's still 98, dude. It's still 98. And he gets ahead in the count and then he starts nibbling and then he throws one down the hard plate and it's he's got great stuff, but it's a confidence thing, I think, with him more than anything.
Yeah. Yep. Agree.
They're not putting them in. Hold on, John. Hold on 1 second. There's a little bit of a common theme. I think we need a baseball psychologist on this team. Stott needs some confidence. Kerkering, Alvarado. I could go on probably. Like,
so going back to the natural, losing is a disease. Remember this?
No, yeah,
segment?
I do.
And Roy Hobbs is like, "Fuck this fucking mumbo jumbo. I'm out of here."
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I mean,
Jordy. Sorry to cut
you think
off.
about it, the 500 ball has been a month and a half now. For the Phillies playing 500 ball, it's not.
Yep.
It's not something that's just happened after the break. This has been going on, and they've been lucky enough that the Braves are banged up and they're not taking advantage of the Phillies losing. They're losing themselves. So,
Yeah. That's one thing about Kirkering. I know people were texting me, "Your boy fucked up. Your boy fucked up." First of all, I was such a loyal fan. Oh well, like my dad. Oh no, not my dad. A couple friends of mine. Your boy fucked up. I thought that was your boy, my nephew, and all. I'm like, look, I didn't even watch the fucking game because I was up so late the other night waiting for that win, that wacky ass win that Cassidy won us pretty much. That I went into work and then I came home and sat right across there in my recliner and passed out when it was like 1-0 yesterday, and I missed the game. I woke up, texted you guys, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna crack some beers in Lehigh Valley now. But yeah, I mean, with him, and like I always go by Dugan's thing too. Don't go by your heart. I know it's my boy, but they don't his numbers are nice this year, but you notice they don't put him in high leverage a lot. They put him in when we got a lead. Like, I like to see him in pressure situations, see how that – I mean, not right now, of course, but, I mean, at some point, put him in high-leverage situations to see how he reacts to pressure. But
well, we saw it in the playoffs last year, John. He kind of melted in the playoffs last year.
Exactly.
I mean –
yeah.
And I know he was a rookie last year, but he kind of melted,
You're with the big boys now. You got to put on your big boy pants. That's that's what they say.
And
and what you were saying too,
you think back to when he was doing well in the beginning of the year, he was using the fastball to get the sweeper, to get the outs or the strikeouts for him, and now he flipped his switch, he flipped his routine the last couple of times out, and he was doing what he was doing in the playoffs.
Now, I'd be interested to see though. Like yesterday, it was Stubbs catching him, and I'm wondering, like, did his struggle start when JT went out, and maybe the pitch calling changed, and JT kind of forced him to throw that fastball even when he didn't want to, where Stubbs is leaning on that sweeper more. And
it's a valid question.
I don't know the correlation there, but it might. I might be worth looking into to see. Yeah.
Kirkering's a two-pitch pitcher. He's always been, right? So he's been a fastball and a slider, and now he's a ball and a slider. That's it.
Yeah. And like Dugan said, they've been playing just over 500 ball or the 500 ball since Longton and shit. They better wake the hell up. We got the Guardians coming in this weekend. We got the Yankees. The Yankees are struggling too, but they're looking to get up. So it's like especially with the Guardians are playing off the charts. They're playing really good ball. But the Yankees and the Phillies, it's like they've been shit since like around the same point too. They've lost.
I was looking at the Yankees lineup.
So struggling clubs banging
tremendous. The Yankees lineup is fucking terrible. There's literally 7 guys you've never fucking heard of.
Yeah.
And Aaron Judge.
And then Soto.
And Soto.
Yeah. It's Soto, Judge, and 7 guys you've never fucking heard of before.
Their rotation's the same way too. It's Cole and a bunch of guys.
Garrett Cole.
Yeah. And he got rocked yesterday by the fucking Mets.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of
the Mets swept that series.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't want us to be keep looking at the Braves. I want us to worry about our own business. Everybody's like, "Oh, well, I know we lost, but the Braves." No, how about we fucking won and put the Braves further back? Like, how about we snap the fuck out of it? Like, stop the excuses. Like, I know there's plenty of ball left, but it's 2 months, and that 2 months will fade real quick. Get your shit together and get in the fucking groove. Sorry, Mike.
All right. Well, no, then let's talk about it. We've talked about it on a couple other podcasts, but now we're down to crunch time, right? They're 19-18 since London. We've said that, I think this is the 3rd time we've said it on this podcast. Would you sell the farm to win it all this year? And what do you want to get? So let's just go around the horn. Chris, you want to start?
Sure. I don't think there's anyone that's untouchable. It's one of those things where I love this Aiden Miller and Crawford and Painter. I don't love because I don't even know who this dude is. Like, how are you ranked in the top 20 or 30 and you pitched 10 innings? So, like, that dude, like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, someone wants him, fuck it, you can have him. I just want a right-handed bat of some sort, and I want 2 bullpen guys, and I want a starter. And the starter doesn't have to be a stud type of guy. But I don't want to be like worrying about like, all right, like we're going with Tyler Phillips and Walker. I just don't know. Like I think that they have to splash big, and I think it's changing 4 spots. Because guess what? If Ruiz leaves and Phillips moves into the the long guy, that's an upgrade. If Pache leaves, no one cares, right? No one cares. And if Marsh and Stott are getting less time, that's a good thing. We were all wrong, or at least I was wrong. Like, they're just not everyday players. I right now they're not. Maybe they will be, but I don't think Marsh is. Stott might be, but Marsh is he's just not. But I don't want like this 1 or 2. Like, I keep seeing these like, oh, we're going to go to the Nationals and get Kyle Finnegan and Thomas. It's not enough. You know what? They didn't do anything for the past 2 years. I'm expecting a fucking absolute splash. And I don't want this dude, Garrett Crochet. I don't know if you guys heard this, but he's like, you can sign me, but then you got to sign me. I'm not pitching in the playoffs is basically what he said. I'm not doing it. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. He said he's not pitching in October.
Why would you say that?
Fucking asshole. Right, because he had Tommy John, and he's like, I'm going to 111 innings. I don't have a new deal. I'm not pitching in October unless when I get traded, I get signed immediately to a long term.
To an extension, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I'm just like, I mean, good for him. I get it. He's protecting his own. It's not me, but it's not my money, man. I want 4 people. I don't give a shit what the luxury tax is.
I think the Phillies have to take a look and, I don't know if this recent stretch of 500 play changes the opinion. Like, a month and a half ago, they were the best team in baseball, and it was clear. Like, they were that much better than everybody in baseball. Mm-hmm. This last month and a half might give you a little bit of pause to say, well, maybe we're not as good as we thought we were, and we're kind of the same team we were in games 3, 4, 5, and 6 against, 7 against the Diamondbacks. Like, bad approaches at the plate, bad situational hitting, bad back end of the bullpen, lack of starting pitching depth. Maybe they're the same team. I think that's what the Phillies have to really decide. Like, are we good enough to make 3 or 4 changes and win the World Series? And if they answer yes to that question, all in. You got to be all in. These guys aren't getting any younger. JT's not getting any younger. Harper's here for a million more years, but he's not getting any younger. Schwarber, Castellanos, these guys are not getting any younger. And if you look at that roster and say, yeah, we tweaked this, we tweaked that, we added this guy, we added that guy, we win it all. Fucking do it. You trade everybody. You trade anybody. Even if they want guys off your major league roster and it's an upgrade, you have to seriously consider it. You have to seriously consider making a move because the window's only open so long. And I think they're good enough to win the World Series. I think they have enough talent. I agree, Chris. I think they need a starter because I think Ranger's coming back to earth, and I think he's probably going on the IL probably again. I don't think he's healthy. Yep. And then you look now you're looking at, like you said, Phillips and Taijuan Walker. Like, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. You got to get another guy.
It's interesting, and if you've seen the last couple of games, like they're doing JT 2 and then Garrett 1. Like, this isn't the old, JT 5 in a row and Garrett once a week.
It's been a couple of day games. It's been a couple of day games after night games too. So I'm hoping that played a part with him just coming back from the knee surgery. But
yeah.
I mean, JT's going to have to take the bulk of the starts down the stretch here. But I mean, I agree with you. You got to be all in. Painter. Who do you want?
Fuck load management. Yeah. Who do you want?
Who do you want? Who do you want? What's going to get me what we need?
Yeah.
I do like Finnegan and Lane Thomas. I think they would be nice upgrades for the Phils. But I agree with you. Now go get me somebody else. Another bullpen arm, maybe another bat. Because Pache and the bench is not. Sosa's a nice bench piece, and he's probably going to be more of a platoon guy going forward. But
I like that De La Cruz too out of the Marlins. Like, he won't play us. The dude fucking destroys us.
Yeah.
And then their left-hander. Like, I don't know, get 4 fucking dudes.
Yeah, that Tanner Scott. Yeah, I would.
Tanner Scott.
Yeah,
I'd get him in a heartbeat.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, my dream thing is I wouldn't mind getting a Rosarena and Scott somehow. There was there was some rumblings about trying to get a Rosarena and Fairbanks. I'm not too familiar with Fairbanks, but my thing is there's really, and I talked with you, Mike, the other day about this when we hung out. I don't really have any untouchables, but I have a guy I would like to keep just because of depth. We have no fucking outfielder depth in the minor leagues. Like, we have, De La Cruz just got the fucking AAA, and we don't know if he's going to play first or, well, he's got to play outfield because he's blocked at first. But Crawford is a 4-tool player. He doesn't have the power, or he doesn't have the power yet. That's your best shot at replacing a Casty when he walks after next year or whatever. I would sell everybody but Crawford. And it's not like an untouchable thing. Like, you can't trade Crawford. If you wind up trading Crawford and some other kid comes up, fine, whatever. But I would just like to keep him and try to develop him. Miller, you're blocked. Painter, we don't, like Chris said, we don't know what the hell he is. Abel, if anybody wants him, he pitched fine yesterday, but he's 3-7. His ERA is almost 7. It's like 6.8 something. By all the Caba, Saltabon, Rincones. Rincones is an outfitter, but he's the Jersey Shore. These guys, goodbye. You're all blocked. We're flooded with infield, so sell all them guys.
Let me throw this out there.
I just want to keep Crawford just.
Hypothetical for you guys. I'm curious to see what you think. What if the best right-handed bat that we can acquire to add power to this lineup is a guy like Christian Walker or Vlad Guerrero Jr., who are first basemen? Do you think the Phillies make that move and move Harper back to the outfield?
I fucking love it. I'm 100% in it.
I am fucking sold. Yes.
Except for Christian Walker. That's the fucking dude that's doing grounding and all that bullshit. Yeah. Fuck that new age mumbo jumbo.
If you get Vladdy Jr. here, Harper.
I just thought, obviously those
names are back in the outfield.
But I'm just saying, if a first baseman is the best right-handed bat you can acquire, I think you have to do it. You need a right-handed power hitter. Move Harper back to the outfield. Yeah.
You put Harper in right, you put Nick in left, and then everything's pretty much solved. You platoon the fucking center field for now.
Yeah.
Dude, in a fucking heartbeat. That's a good point, Dugan. I love that. Yeah. In a heartbeat.
I think most of us said yes even before you gave us what it was.
You said first base, and I was like, "Yep."
You had me in Vlad. I'm like, oh.
Hey, really quick, I was gonna do an dumbass, but I decided that it was Turner and 3B and Rojas over the last 2 series. They get the dumbass of the week for getting picked off and all that bullshit. So I just thought I'd tell you guys that. I'll have a regular dumbass next time. I want to do a second trivia just because it is this week pertinent, and then we'll keep going here. In the pandemic shortened 2020 season, the Phillies opened the season this week in July against what team?
Yankees. John, Yankees.
No.
No? That was the year after. So, yeah.
Chris Dodgers. Sorry.
Negative.
No, it's all. They played all East Coast teams. It was all. Was it the Blue Jays?
No, it was the Marlins. They lost 5-2.
Wow.
Just thought that was kind of a cool thing, just because it was this week. this week in 2020.
Yeah, like they lost to like
Yankees
the
was a
World
couple years
Series
ago.
champion on the first game every year, like the past few, right? Isn't that true?
That's true. Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe it was the Dodgers, but not that year.
The Blue
Let's
Jays,
see.
the Blue
The
Jays
Weather
were
Center.
playing somewhere in Buffalo or something that year. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were playing in
they're
Buffalo.
minor league.
The Weather Center had it. So everybody, if you're not following the Weather Center, you should, because they're better than your Action News even.
Yeah. He's not always right about this. He's always right about everything.
Fuck John Belair.
I'm sorry, Steve. Keep drinking the Jameson, brother.
Steve, put down the daiquiri.
Acapulco.
Let's see. I'm just looking through a couple of comments. I think we're in good shape. Last one here. I'm going to send it over to you, Dugan. You've had an amazing opportunity to both coach and enjoy your daughter's softball careers as a spectator for many, many years. This past weekend was the culmination of all those years of blood, sweat, miles driven, laughs, and tears. You want to tell us a little bit about your and Christy's journey and how you feel today?
Yeah. Oh my God, man. Let's just say this weekend was a little emotional watching Meg, our youngest, play her last softball tournament ever. The last one we're ever going to have to drive to and be a part of, because we have a player on the team. We may still go and watch some of the girls that we've become friendly with and the parents we've become friendly with. But it started. I mean, I have 4 daughters. My oldest daughter wasn't much of an athlete. She was more of a cheerleader than a softball player. So Mara was our first real softball player, and she's 23 now. So she started playing when she was about 7. Many hours with Mara hitting out front and having a catch, taking her to the field and working on her fielding, and spent a lot of time with her. So it was very emotional when her playing days came to an end. And then Sarah started. Sarah's 21. So again, another long run with her, starting when she was 7 or 8, all through club ball and then tournament ball and high school ball, and emotional when her career ended playing for the Phillies Youth Academy. Both Mara and her played for the Phillies Youth Academy, playing in regional tournaments. And then Megan was probably the one I spent the most time with, just because she was a pitcher. So pitchers, when they go to pitching lessons, need a catcher. And I was always available to volunteer to be her catcher. And I enjoyed catching her and, developing her as a pitcher, working with her, talking about the game, and pitching in general, because I pitched in high school, and kind of the mental approach to pitching, when we were on car rides to and from pitching lessons, and how she would want to set up hitters, how different pitches work, and how you can work on the count. So seeing Megan play her last game was pretty emotional, because I was really heavily invested in her career. I'll tell you, COVID was kind of, fucked up for everybody, but it was a blessing for me as a softball dad, because my office closed. I started working from home. I made every high school softball game at 3:30 in the afternoon. And that was Sarah's senior year, Megan's freshman year. So I got to see Sarah's last year playing in high school, and all 4 years of Megan playing. I didn't miss a game. And it's just amazing. I mean, all 3 girls played through the Phillies organization. Meg played with a different organization last year. But the places we've got to go, we were all over Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland. We traveled to Washington, D.C. We traveled to Cincinnati, Oklahoma City, Seattle, Los Angeles. And Christy and I were fortunate enough to be able to afford to travel to those places and get to experience those events with the girls. I mean, through the Phillies, all 3 girls got to go to the Home Run Derby. They got to meet Jenny Finch and other Team USA softball players, and be involved with so many things. I mean, the game of softball gave my girls and our family so much, and knowing that it came to an end this weekend was hard on all of us, because we, as hard as it is to get up at 5:00 in the morning and pack the car and drive 2 hours to a game and stay there all day in the hot sun. I'm gonna fucking miss every minute of it, man. I loved it. Being a softball dad was probably the most fun job I've had in my life, and I loved every minute of it. I was even the game changer dad. I kept the scores and videotaped the games, and I did all that stuff just to be as involved as a parent as I could be. And you make so many great friends with the parents and the coaches, and try and grab some knowledge from them, impart some knowledge that I have, and it's just been a great ride. It's emotional that it's over, because it was such a big part of our lives for the last 15, 16 years. So if you see me driving around aimlessly next summer, I'll be looking for a softball field to go to. I'll be the creepy guy out in left field with a cooler of beer, watching a bunch of girls run around play softball, just because I'm going to miss it that much.
Rake in the infield or something somewhere.
I'll do something, man. I gotta want
to have a catch. You need a pitcher. You need a catcher if you're pitching. Like you can just show up at the baseball town.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you sharing. I know that it was a big deal for you and your family, and so I wanted to make sure and give you some time.
I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you.
Bud, apparently you need to talk to Bud because he feels your pain and he calls softball the best game on dirt. So,
Mike, I want to bring up a few comments here. Who's Baby John? Is this
me,
John? Or are we sure?
Yeah, it was me. We were texting earlier. Yeah.
Okay, because I thought it might have been your son.
No, I hope he can't use anything yet. He'll figure out where the support money is. That little fucker.
Yeah, well, I mean that's.
Well, he clearly used it to buy Woo Sox tickets that night.
We all get a laugh. So, Alina, thanks for following us. Thanks for supporting us. Sorry you had to live with your brother. Like, we just want to hear stories about it, like how terrible it was. Like, just talking. Like, did you ever let him say grace at the table? At Thanksgiving? Was it like 10 hours long? And he was just going on a soliloquy. Well, I just have to assume it was just nightmarish. So, thanks for listening to us talk and being a fan of the page. Here's another one, Tyler Ward. What do you guys think of Tyler?
I like him. It's another guy I was thinking of. He's got I think he's got some arbitration left. He's not that old, right? He's in his 20s, mid-20s, something like that, isn't he? Okay. Or later? I thought he was 30. Later 20s. Yeah. I think he's later 20s.
30s, later 20s.
He's got some control. He's got some control though, like a couple years control or something. I forget. I was looking at him last week. I didn't write it down, but I mean, they're not going anywhere, and maybe you can give them some bodies. Still him. I wouldn't mind.
And I think we might cut fucking Steve from the Jameson. Steve's like the nicest, happiest guy. He's like, fuck Baby John and fuck. Baby John's your boy.
Captain Sparrow.
It's not Baby
John. Captain Sparrow, you got to go back to rum, bro.
He does that to some people.
I love you, though.
And then we got Buck stopping in. What's up, man? We were talking about you earlier.
You're
all good.
You're not going to go to this one?
I didn't say it. I mean, I think that's yours, Mike. It's
I didn't say it. The Weather Center said it.
You love it.
I do love it.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Thanks,
let's go. Last
comments.
Thoughts. Yeah, thank you very much. Let's go. Last thoughts, Johnny. Bottom left. Fire away, brother.
I'd just like to say something. It's right around the deadline, and last year, all the interweb people, maybe some people on our page, I don't know. I just want to tell you, dummies, I fucking told you so. You wanted to trade for Arenado. He fucking blows. My man Bohm is a pure hitter. He's gotten better at defense. He's getting the Gold Glove and the Silver Slugger this year. So I fucking told you so. I've stuck with my boy Bohm for the last 4 years. I've heard all this shit. Now what? Here, like Hulk Hogan, I'm going to do one of these. What? Huh? And another thing.
He's got 3 RBIs in July, John. Tell him to pick it the fuck up.
Oh, he will. August. He's August bone. And another thing. Will the crippled kid that cleans up the Wawa in Richboro stop taking down my fucking DPF fucking stickers? You've won the battle, but I will win the war. Me and Chris talked about this. I'm just going to put it higher on the fucking wall. You're not reaching.
Right.
That's it.
You know.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck the Mets.
All right, I'm going to go back. We don't do this segment. We haven't done it in a while, but things that make me drink. And this has been on my mind. Yesterday, it really was highlighted. Hey, Phillies, stop taking fucking fastballs down the middle for strike 3 and then looking at the umpire like it was a ball. Those pitches are fucking strikes. Get the fucking bats moving, especially with people on base. Swing the fucking bats. I'm looking at you, Bohm, and I'm looking at you, Marsh, specifically for yesterday. Swing the fucking bats. Stop taking fastballs and stop blaming the fucking umpire. Start winning some fucking baseball games. Let's go. Fuck.
Okay. I'm jumping in front of Chris. Things that make me drink. A pitcher comes in. He got a call to the bullpen. There's a man on first and second or first and third or second and third or whatever it is. And the first 3 pitches are balls. Makes me drink.
Fair.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Chris, you're up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wait till the end for this one. I poured it and I was like, I don't know, like maybe I need to be a little more cohesive here. So you know what? I love watching baseball. I just do. You know, coming out in the garage, watching it, listening to the radio, having the TV on. It's been a lot less fun the last 3 to 4 weeks, honestly. It just hasn't been good baseball. And it's not that it hasn't been winning baseball because they're 500. Like, listen, if this is 2012 and they're 500 or 2013, I'm like, all right, maybe we're turning the corner. But, you know, it's different when it's 500 baseball and they're not turning the corner. You're worrying about if it's, you know, and there's people saying, oh, the collapse 64. Like, let's not go there. Let's be honest about it. But I think there needs to be an honest talk in the dugout, in the clubhouse, that there's targets on your back. And every time you go out there, it could be the first time someone saw you play. So why are you not playing hard every game? I just don't get that. Like, that's something that doesn't compute with any 4 of us. And I see that with these guys. And I see that apathetic attitude. Like, I want that slammed. I want them to go in the dugout and smash something. Cleveland's coming in here, like, not looking to, like, just, you know, hey, maybe we'll split with them. They're looking to clean their fucking clock. You know what I mean? They are. So, like, the Phillies, when they get home here, need to step the fuck up and just, you know what? I'm glad the Mets are good because I want the Mets to be in second place and I want to knock their dick in the dirt when we play them in September. Period. Fuck the Mets. You know what? And I don't really, I don't like Pete Alonso no more. I want that to go on record.
Thank God. All right, y'all. Let's wrap this thing up. Remember, On Tap is brought to you by Pensive Technology. Go to pensivtechnology.com and check them out today. Remember yards. We drink it. It's not just something that, hey, look, Dugan even switched to the high dive.
That's a good one.
It's not just something that we talk about. We drink this beer every single podcast, every single tailgate. Just check it out at your local distributor. And we already talked about SeaGeek. I can't get that jazzed again. And then remember, we're at Victory Brewing Company on the Ben Franklin Parkway, Monday, August 12th from 6 to 9 to benefit the Pennsylvania SPCA. Come out and, hang out and do some Phillies trivia. And remember to get your ticket on eventbrite.com. And then finally, over Chris's shoulder is some new merch that we have down the bottom of the screen. It's been scrolling the whole time. DrunkPhilsFans.com, or go on our Facebook page and hit the shop now button.
You like DPF? Booze ain't free, and this is what fuels us. So every dollar that's spent there goes into a can or a bottle. We promise.
There you go. Hey, thank you all for commenting and watching and listening later on. We love every single one of you guys, and we love to interact with you on the page. Support us any way you want to and reach out, DM us questions. I forgot earlier the segment on who we would trade was brought to you by @HolidayHave on Twitter. I forgot that part. So just wanted to give him a quick shout out. And we'll talk to you guys next time. August 1st is the next podcast, and stay tuned for a possible guest star on that podcast. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for listening. See you later.
See you later.
Thank you. Go Phils.
Fuck the Mets.